Today we're doing something a little bit different because today we're not at Disneyland. We're at Universal Studios Hollywood. We're actually going to go into the park today and talk a little bit about the park's history, some of the things that you may or may not know about this park, and enjoy a day here. So let's go. Let's hang out at Universal Hollywood.
Bringing you everything under the Disney umbrella. Network 1901.
Hey, George. Hey, thanks for being curious. Bye. All right, so getting back to history here. In 1915, this was the actual first studio to ever open its gates to the public. So when we talk about Universal copying Disney and everything that it did, it's actually pretty contradictory because Universal really opened its gates, was the very first studio to do so. And for 25 cents, you could get a tour of Universal Studios Hollywood. But of course, in 1925, movies didn't have sound, so there was no need to be quiet on set. But that came much later in the 1930s, and they had to shut down the studio tour because people were making too much noise. And that was all the way up until 1961, when they brought back the studio tour in the form of a bus, and later, by the mid-1960s, in the form of the tram tour. Since 1965, the studio tour has always kind of been the baby here, the crown jewel of Universal Studios. But that's really until back behind me, Hogwarts moved in. It took a long time for the studio to go from just the studio tour until we got to the full-fledged theme park. I'm talking decades, from the 1960s all the way up until 1991, when they opened their very first attraction that wasn't a part of the tram tour like Jaws was. We're talking E.T., the very first dark ride attraction separate from the tour opening here in the park. Now that doesn't mean that there wasn't other things in the park. There was the Great Western Stunt Show and several other shows taking place on property. But the first ever actual real ride was E.T. This is around the same time that Universal was trying to put another park in Orlando as well, trying to compete with Disney World. Their first major attraction was also E.T. They didn't have the studio tram tour, so they had to come up with other ways to entertain guests. And a lot of those ideas that have gone into Universal Orlando have ended up here at Universal Hollywood, like Springfield behind me. I figured while I was here in Springfield, I'd make my friends Bart and Homer Simpson really happy by having a Buzz Cola and by trying out something I've never tried, the big giant pink donut. It's literally as big as my face. It's as big as my face. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. And it seems like Universal has done really well for itself with putting together something with J.K. Rowling and bringing Harry Potter and the Wizarding World to Universal Studios. And we do know that a deal has been made with Nintendo. Nintendo will also be coming to Universal Studios Hollywood and in Florida. And the parks continue to expand. Volcano Bay is just about to open up in Florida. They have tons of different restaurants and hotels and resorts. And Universal parks are just constantly growing. Just look at what's behind me here. We don't know what's going to be here, but something new is coming to Universal Hollywood. Attractions like Jurassic Park and over here with Transformers, and over here with The Mummy. I think that Universal Studios Hollywood has got it pretty good, and I think that it's only going to grow and become a better and better park. And hopefully with the additions of things like Nintendo and the continued additions with the Wizarding World, the park is just going to become a destination for people who come to the Los Angeles area, similar to the way that Disneyland is for almost everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this brief history of Universal Studios. If you want to see more Universal Studios stuff from me, just comment down below on YouTube or on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you see this video. And also be sure to check out our t-shirt shop. Grab one of these t-shirts here, like this Mary Poppins t-shirt. I love this one. And be sure to check out everything at network1901.com or youtube.com/network1901. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook at network1901. And until next time, keep on moving, people. Does anyone else just really hate Minions?